So this is old news, but it's important to bring this up for context. Harvest Moon is no longer called Harvest Moon. It's now Stardew Valley, and Stardew Valley is no longer called Stardew Valley. It's now My Time at Portia, and My Time at Portia is now called Story of Seasons. It's all very confusing, but there is a very good reason for it. Money! 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 So anyway, I'll start off by saying it's hard to explain why I find this kind of game enjoyable. Because at its core, it really is just doing virtual chores. I think it comes down to a sense of accomplishment, and that further breaks down into a discussion about how completing tasks in work and in video games are correlated and how humans seek and thrive on the sense of achievement that comes from completing tasks. You see, Karl Marx once said, "Strange labor reverses the relation." In all seriousness, it really is hard to describe why I've put over 200 hours into Stardew Valley and have already clocked in over a full real-life day's worth of time into SOSFOMT. Because I can't really convey to you what it is I like about this game, I'm just going to describe it to you like I'm a gaming journalist who assumes you're a 50-year-old trying to choose a game to buy for your grandson. Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineraltown, or also known as SOSFNT, has you take on the role of a new farmer. After a brief introduction, you're left to your own devices. For the most part, the game lets go of your hand at this point. When you do something new, you get a pop-up tutorial that you can either read or completely ignore. There are secrets or hidden features in the game that if you didn't Google them, could possibly take you a very long time to figure out. The TV gives you game advice and the library acts as a help function. There is no primary objective beyond growing your farm. The game challenges you by requiring tool upgrades for certain tasks, or winning minigames during holiday events. Tool upgrades are part of the mining system, which is difficult to do without the cooking system, both of which are technically optional. 12 of the 32 characters are romanceable, with I think at least 2 secretly romanceable characters. Romance is also technically optional. This is a game you can play however you want. I know a guy who completely ignores the social aspects of these kinds of games and focuses entirely on the farming aspect. Fishing is also a thing, I guess. One feature of the game that makes taking care of your farm easier are the nature spirits. Befriending them and asking for their help allows you to essentially hire farmhands who accept honey and friendship as payment. This feature, while helpful, does highlight the fact that doing farm chores can get tiresome enough that the game actually employs a way for you to avoid it entirely. If I'm comparing SOSFOMT to a game like Stardew Valley, SOSFMT lacks the customization that Stardew Valley has. Having the kitchen utensils locked behind a time wall is really frustrating. I'd also appreciate a likes and dislikes tracker for when I give gifts to characters. But those nitpicks aside, I like the soundtrack, I like the art style, I like the sense of progression you get from seeing your farm grow. There's a reason there are so many iterations on this kind of game.